Here's the PSR730. It comes with the case. So here's the PSR730 setup. You can hook up a sustain pedal and a volume pedal. The volume pedal and the sustain pedal don't come with it, but you can see that both of those you can hook up. I just need those for my other gear. The main thing on this thing, I've modified it so that this used to take floppy disks, but I made a modification in it so that instead of floppy disks, it has a USB stick. There's a modification that replaces the floppy disk with this is a 16 gig memory stick. So the memory stick holds all the setups, all the MIDI files, style files, 16 gigs worth. And if you know the gear, if you know this piece of equipment, you know it has stereo speakers on both sides. I love that because when you're on stage, you actually have like an on-stage monitor coming right out of the keyboard. That's why these PSRs are such a great piece of gear. It's got a mod wheel and a pitch bend wheel. Everything works. This is just, I love this piece of gear. Just got to sell it. I've also hooked up one of these little lights. I hook up these little stage lights when I'm out gigging. So that helps a lot.
Here's the software that I use to control the PSR730, is this XG Works editor. So through this we can control all the EQ and all the parameters of the keyboard through here. If I go into one of these insertions, this is where I can change the insertion effects, modify the EQ. And if I open up, this is where I can change whatever voice I want to change. I can alter the properties of the voice through this interface here. And let me go back out of here into the insertion effects. Yeah, here I can alter the LFO, and if I go in here, I can go into the delay, change the delay, the dry wet, anything I want to do in there. And also through this I can change it from polyphonic to monophonic. Through this editor you're able to do that. There's a lot of more parameters that you can edit through this interface. Classical guitar lines. And I mixed that in with some castanets. Next I have a 12-string guitar song.
and then some lead sounds. Feedback guitar sounds, and then a whole bunch of pad leads. Real thick lots of layered and thickened up pads. Of layers in there.
The real power of the PSR730 and all the Auto Arranger keyboards, the ability to generate vast amounts of MIDI data. So here's my DAW, and I've assigned 16 tracks of MIDI. Now through the Auto Arranger feature, we can generate chord changes and real-time drum changes, and create a whole song worth of MIDI data, to spit out tons and tons of MIDI data in all different types of styles, and then revoice it. So here I've recorded some MIDI data. Now I'm going to revoice it using some soft synths on the DAW. Here's the drum session drummer. I can revoice all the channel 10 MIDI data to any kind of drums that I want to, and it's a lot better than using loops. Loops are kind of static. You can't do chord changes within a loop. But here, through the MIDI data, it's so manipulatable that we can do all kinds of things with it. I can revoice Reason, or here's an 808 that's available in the DAW, so I can revoice all the MIDI data that I've created along with all the chord changes. So that's the real power of the Auto Arrangers, is not only do they have onboard sounds, but you can generate tons of MIDI and chord changes and then revoice it accordingly. Some synth effects, not too many though, and then some other guitar tones that I have are I've got a mandolin that I use in conjunction with, I split the keyboard to half mandolin, half guitar. It's a real nice one. More organs with swirling effects. It's probably hard to hear on this microphone, but when on a stereo rig, it really fills the room. Got some nice strings.
real nice violins, piccato strings, and I just want to show all these sounds off because I don't want to. I'd like to stack up songs with lots of patches and switch back and forth in between them, similar to the way Jordan Rudess manages his sound patches in a particular song. I've got some Japanese shakuhachi and Japanese stuff and bass lines. Jaco Pastorius, fretless type of stuff. And I can go low, even subsonic. And steel drums. Along with, I programmed in my my tremolo sounds. Same thing with the xylophone, stuff with the same tremolo settings. And I have just some crazy type of sound effects that I've programmed in there too, but most of the sound effects that I use and the synthesizer stuff that I use, I run it through my soft synths, and I'll just give you a demonstration of that now.